So recently, singer David, or spelled as D4vd, has been going under some fire, not because he released some trash album, but because he's being accused of some things that are not just career ending, but actually life ending. This news has been going around all over social media and within the music community. And if you don't know who David is, I might as well just give you a little recap. So David is the singer. When he started social media, he didn't really have the intentions of singing. Instead, he started off social media, he started off YouTube as posting Fortnite clips and compilations and all that.
I became a YouTuber. I was playing Call of Duty, Fortnite, all these different type of games to try to become like the biggest next thing, streamer, Kai Cenat, everything. There was this trend on Twitter where if you put some songs in your videos, to kind of make them a compilation instead of single clips, that they get more views. So everybody on Twitter started using songs from like the mainstream artists, and then underground artists started paying them to use songs. But nobody paid me because like nobody watched my videos. So I started putting the mainstream songs in, and then there was a point where there was no copyright strike. So I was making so much money because I was getting 200,000 views, 300,000.
Wait, so how did you start getting a lot of views?
The mainstream songs. The songs have an algorithm to them.
Nothing changed in what you were doing. All you did was put one song in.
Put a song in a video. Everything changed.
And then you got like overnight?
Literally overnight. Yeah.
So essentially he would use copyrighted music from other singers and rappers and put them over his Fortnite clips. However, this is during a time where this was a very strict thing going on, and he ended up having his videos taken down.
I started getting copyright strikes left and right from UMG, and I'm like, what in the world is UMG? I don't know what UMG is. Yeah. So I'm not making any money now. I got the red money sign on all my videos.
You know, justifiably so, being upset by this, he of course told his mother, you know, he was losing the money. YouTube was taking his videos down, and his mother was on the phone. She wanted him off her dick, so she basically recommended to him to go make his own music, and that he did.
And I'm like crying to mom about it. I'm like, yo, I don't know what to do. I'm not making any money anymore, blah, blah, blah. And she was like on a phone or something. She was like, just make your own music. Go, get out of my face. Make your own music. And I was like, wait a minute. I could probably do that.
And you never did it before in your life?
Never.
Got in his little closet. He figured out how to make music through his phone, and then he started making his music and putting that through Fortnite videos. And to that actually came with a lot of popularity. People was also using his songs because guess what? It was royalty free. You know, it wasn't gonna get their videos taken down. His videos wasn't gonna be taken down, and that's when he decided to take this music shit a lot more seriously. He ended up making bangers after bangers, dropping his most iconic song, "Romantic Homicide," which honestly might have, which I'm gonna bring up a lot at this point. Well, I'm not gonna bring it up a lot, but I don't know, with the way things are going right now, I think that "Romantic Homicide" song has like a crazy message. For those who watched Invincible, he made the song Feel It. It's a pretty good song, and it also brought him more to life for people who don't listen to music all that much, or at least him and, you know, in his genre. And yeah, he's basically been doing good for the past 3-4 years or so. He never really was in any kind of controversy. He was doing just fine until now. So now that we're caught up to speed, what was he being accused of? What's going on? Why is he under so much fire? No more than a week and a half ago, while David started his tour, his Tesla got impounded, and you know, the guys who checked it out, it was clearly under his name, it was a Tesla and all that. Over some time, the smell of the car started getting hella rancid. Obviously, you know, it brought up concerns, so the people called the neighbors and all that stuff. The neighbors, the people that impounded the car, all that, they decided to call up 911 and made a shocking discovery. There's dismembered body parts in the back of his car. The body was so decomposed, it was gonna take a while for them to identify the body. Now, of course, David was on tour, so people understandably thought that David couldn't have done it. And I was also one of those people too that thought he wouldn't have done it. But then the more I started to think about it, it kind of made me scratch my head. So people think that David might have been framed for this, but if you know anything about Teslas, or if you even own a Tesla yourself, Teslas aren't something you could just, you know, break into like that. Many Tesla owners, they have like apps or a key card to access their car, and I'm pretty sure there's a mode that has cameras on at all times. As we know, as of today, the car was never reported as stolen. As a matter of fact, the car was found near his neighborhood, near his house actually, before it got impounded. And they haven't dropped any footage, they haven't confirmed anything if the cameras of the Tesla was on, so we still haven't released that, you know, to confirm who may have put that body in there. But it was very suspicious, you know, if you know anything about Teslas, because you know, if you're not the owner of that Tesla, it's not really easy to just break into that car. And you know, when that car was impounded, there wasn't any reports of any sign of damage to indicate that someone was trying to break in. But as of now, not much information was really spread. No, not as of now, but you know, during that week ago, not information was really spread around yet. You know, David was still on tour, so people just wanted to think, okay, He wasn't doing it. So far, he's framed. We'll just wait for more information. Until just a few days ago, the body was confirmed of who it was. The body belonged to Celeste Rivas Hernandez, someone who would have turned 15 just last week. She's been missing since 2024. So that means she was no more than 14 years of age when she went missing. And it brought even more confusion, because why would an underage girl be dismembered in this celebrity's car? When the mother was confirming her identity, she mentioned that she did have a boyfriend named David, but it's unknown if she ever met him, at least not to what I could find. But the most important damn piece of evidence, not other than the David thing, was that she had a shoot tattoo on her finger. For those who don't know, that should tattoo is matching along with David, who also has that same tattoo.
And said that she all she knew is that, you know, her daughter had been missing all of this time. She told us that she was aware that there was a boyfriend named David.
And that her daughter had a tattoo with the letters "sh" on her right index finger.
That the color of the ink of that tattoo was red, which was something that police had not released to the public.
The singer, who has been cooperating with police, had continued his tour after the body was discovered, but he just canceled his next date in Seattle.
But that also brought up the speculations that David may be having inappropriate relationships with a minor. Reddit post has been resurfacing, as well as Discord messages, with David's Discord server, that people were aware of David and Celeste's relationship. And I just have to say that almost everybody that pretty much knew this girl in her community pretty much failed her, as there's also photos that resurfaced of David allegedly paying kids off to, keep them quiet so the relationship would not be exposed, because obviously this is like a whole grown-ass man hanging out with a little-ass girl. There's even Instagram messages going around indicating that the two have had sexual relationships too. So even if he didn't kill that girl, there's a chance, not even there's a chance, it's basically confirmed at this point that he's pretty much a predator. And this wouldn't be the first time that Celeste would have went missing. According to this teacher who was teaching some students, he let him know that he used to teach Celeste, and she even went missing for about a month and a half, and they found her in Hollywood, and they brought her back, and then sometime later she also went missing again.
That's her in my classroom in front of this poster right here. Okay, hold up, I got another one, because I got a picture on TMZ of this other kid exchanging stuff with the rapper who we alleged did this stuff. Hold on a second, because he's also in my classroom.
Wait, how long ago was this?
We all just found out yesterday who it was, but she's been missing since I taught her. So when I taught her, she met this dude on social media. He was a rapper in LA. He came and got her. She ran away from home. She was gone for like a month. The cops found her in Hollywood, brought her back to our school. She came back to our school, kind of told people this story. She disappeared again in May of that year, May of 2024. That's when her friends told me what happened, that it was this rapper. And then I found out yesterday that she's now dead in that rapper's car, cut into pieces. You want to know how they met? I feel like I just said it. Social media.
So this was probably a reoccurring thing. I don't know if that first incident was related to David, but considering how things are going, considering how they've known each other, I'm pretty sure they met when he was like 16 or 17, and they met when she was 11. Now, 11 and 17-year-olds should not be really getting close with each other at any kind of point in time. It doesn't matter if they're both minors. By the time this girl would have started high school, this guy's already probably halfway through college, and that's just not okay. There's even streams going around that, David was on stream with her too, and she basically kind of accused him of raping girls. He was asking his mods to delete the VODs and delete the stream that just occurred.
He trained you.
No, you didn't.
That's controversial.
It's controversial of raping kids.
Really good.
Okay,
it's been a good one.
Bye guys.
Mwah, 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 mwah. Oh my! Delete everything. Delete everything. Everything goes. Everything. Which one? It was good to have a big fan of me. Oh, thank you, Mitochondria. Appreciate you.
I gotta stop with him if you even.
We
need to delete this.
Maz, can we delete all VODs and then as soon as the stream ends, delete the stream too?
Basically, from what I'm getting from all of this, is that basically David and Celeste's relationship has been public, but nobody chose to say anything. People has been holding on to this until just recently, which I have to say is really very unfortunate, and just shows how it really goes to show how all these people really failed this little girl. People are really taking David's pocket change to stay quiet. The mom not really investigating who this David person was. How you gonna let your girl date, you know, a guy that you don't even know, you never met? It really goes to show that we need to protect the youth a lot more, and we really need to stop idolizing these celebrities. You guys need to know that celebrities are just people, and people are capable of very terrible things. Just because someone's a celebrity doesn't mean that they're the most perfect human beings. They're not Adam Warlock, for God's sake. People are very capable of terrible things, and that goes for any celebrity that you can think of. He could have gotten any bad bitch in the world that's an adult, for real. He's 20 years old. He's even younger than me, matter of fact. So he could have went for any college baddie if he wanted to, but that's not the case. Some people who just have power like that end up taking advantage of, you know, other people, especially little children. Some people just have some very dark fantasies, and with their power, they can use that to exploit others. And just to make things worse, while all of this is happening, he's still on tour. He didn't cancel it until last night. As of recording this, he canceled his Seattle tour. I think this is what just happened. But literally, like, before he canceled it, he literally had niggas pull up with caskets and shit like that so he can write names, so people can write names to the, you know, write letters to the dead. Like, what the fuck are you thinking, son? Now, I know when it comes to things like this, you know, the suspects can't really say too much going on, you know, just so they try not to incriminate themselves. But the fact that he was still going on tour, even from the day that, you know, the dead body in his car was confirmed, you know, and the fact that he just hasn't said a single thing. And even some news report says that he's not a prime suspect because law enforcement still hasn't found, you know, incriminating evidence that it could be him. I don't know how he's not a prime suspect. It's still very weird. As of recording this video, he's still not been held custody. He still hasn't been put behind bars for now. He's still basically a free man. Like I said earlier, even if this guy didn't murder that girl, he's still a weirdo. He's still a predator. He's basically having this relationship with these underage girls. Another thing you'll probably notice is that in his music videos, you know, the romance songs and all that, the females that are in his videos do closely relate to Celeste. They look like Celeste. I don't know if he produces his music videos. I don't know if he picks the girls and all that. I don't know how that music video stuff goes on, but I can't think that it's a coincidence at all. You even see there's even imagery of the girl disappearing since their love faded away and stuff like that. You know, there's even a music video of him putting a body in the back of a car on some weird shit. Yo, like, at this point, basically all of it was public, but because of his popularity, everybody was blind to it. Because he was making bangers, everybody was basically blind to the crimes that he was basically confessing. And like I said, this all could have been exposed earlier if people just chose not to idolize these celebrities. And not only that, people just chose to actually speak out against these things. Because now I'm thinking about it, all the people who was probably within her area, all the people who probably, you know, got that money from David to stay quiet, they must feel very guilty about that. And I really hope they do feel guilty and realizes that they're a piece of shit and they could have done better to protect this girl. So until then, the only thing to really confirm that it was him who killed that girl, we'll probably have to see if there is footage, like camera, all that stuff from the Teslas. That should have been, you know, revealed from the first day. I'm not gonna lie to you, but then again, when it comes to these kinds of things, it does kind of take some time, even though it's already been a week and a half. But I don't know how law enforcement likes to expose all of this, you know, before the internet does that. You know, I just know that they take a little longer before all these Instagram investigators do all that shit, you feel me? But other than that, like, yeah, David's really a disgusting piece of shit. It's not looking good for him. Even if he didn't kill that girl, and even if there's that 1 slim % chance that he didn't have any sexual relationships with a minor, this damage to his reputation is so bad that he may never get back to the caliber that he was today, or the caliber that was before, you know, not today, since, you know, his follower count has been plummeting, bro, and niggas are shitting on his TikToks and YouTube comments. It's not looking good for him. But yeah, I really hope that there is justice for this little girl. Like I said, it's just a very terrible thing, and I could not wish this upon anybody, man. She would have been, it's sad too, because basically she was pretty much found, what's today, like the 19th? Yeah, she was basically found on her 15th birthday, pretty much the week of her birthday, and that's actually just terrible. So yeah, I really prayers to the family. There are also like alleged messages between a few people and her brother talking about the whole thing, but once again, it's alleged, so we can't really confirm if that's the actual brother or not. It could just be a guy chatting. So once again, yeah, this is something I should have said at the start. This is really all just speculation too, but until some people that actually knew Celeste really come out and confirm like, yes, this is true and all of that, then this is just speculation. This is alleged, like the picture, you know, David of paying the kids. That's also alleged too. There's no video footage or anything like that, but people have tracked it down. People have tracked down that whole area and determined like, yeah, that area is like the same like area of where Celeste lives and stuff like that. But it's just not looking good for him. You know, all these little pieces of information, they keep stacking up until it just creates a big layer, bro. When there's too much coincidences, it gets to a point where all of them weren't even coincidences in the first place. That's just how bad it is. But yeah, like I said, praise to Celeste's family, man. It's a very terrible thing that they're going through. Stop idolizing these celebrities, man, for real. That's one big problem that I've been seeing. Too many people folding to these kinds of people, and they don't know. The thing is, they prey on the young, man. They're too young, so that means they're gonna exploit them. Because when you're young, man, you've seen it with Chris Tyson, you've seen it with EDP, you've seen it with so much more content creators that we thought were good people but ended up being shit. They really will use their power to exploit the young and get them for their own gains. It's a very terrible thing to see, and we all need to do better as a community to prevent these kinds of actions. If you see any content creator you know doing all this shit, please find your way to speak out. But we really need to do what we can to make sure that these guys are put under the dirt so they don't prey on other more people, because before we know it, it's gonna be too late. But that's all I have to say today. I'm sorry for the lack of uploads. I've been so busy with shit like that, but I've been free recently, so I just felt like I'm gonna go share the information that I have with y'all about what I think about all this, especially since I've been lacking on streaming too. But you can always keep up with me just by following the socials in the link tree. So yeah, y'all have yourselves a damn good one.